Okay, here we go. So this is a Panther II replay on Sand River Assault, and this turned out to be a pretty, I don't know, it was fun, but oh man, was it disappointing in the end. I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward to when I position because everything else here is quite unimportant. So I come up all the way up here with the intention of dashing down to that to this area down here if none of their tanks push far forward enough. And sure enough, they don't. But I spot some pretty interesting tanks to combat for me here. There's an M6, which is a piece of cake, really, but the M4A3E8, well, he's also a piece of cake, but then the IS-6 comes into view. I believe I did spot it for the first time, either me or one of the other tanks. So I play hold down. Not particularly he shows his weak spot very nicely there, but I don't zone in well enough before he turns his turret back. So yeah, I start playing this, as you can see, trying to see if I can get shots off on any of the three tanks as they tilt their heads above to try and get a shot on me. Tanks behind me, I have no idea what they're doing. Would have been nice if they moved up a bit more, because then they could have helped. Or came into my same hold-down position, because then I could have gotten more fire on these particular tanks. Instead, I was doing all the work. And I could have backed up. In fact, I did back up at one point to see if I could lure the red team into coming closer to us, but that didn't work out still. Well, the reason to... Okay, that's kind of scattered, but you'll see. But anyways, back to this. As you can see, I'm getting a couple of shots off. I got a nice shot off on the M6, nearly killed it. I tried to get a nicer shot on that IS-6, but again, he turned his turret back towards me. Definitely playing smart. Get a nice shot on his turret cheek right there. So it's just that M6, the one that's almost dead, the M4A3E8, and the IS-6 right now. Those are my prime worries, except for just then, which the FV207 then becomes my primary worry, as I have to now play a bit more dynamically, keep my tank moving in different lanes of shifting backwards and forwards. As you can see, I'm changing lanes now, moving up, and fire at the IS-6. Most of the time when I fire at the IS-6, it does bounce, and that's fine. I don't care, as long as the IS-6 is kept under fire. I can get some... Okay, this is when I decide that there's a lot of tanks on that area, and I feel like if I move back, those tanks will advance and then give the guys back here a chance to shoot at them. But that Hellcat is what changes all of that. This is very strange what happens here. The Hellcat, at this point, when I take up position back here, the Hellcat moves up into where I was. And normally a player would think, oh, you're gonna die if you do that. You're just gonna die because you're a Hellcat, you have no health. Sure, you can pen those tanks, but... So I decide to help him out. I decide to push back into my position that I was before and play second banana to him, getting some fire on that IS-6, trying to keep that IS-6 away from the Hellcat's position. And I'm actually chipping down the IS-6's health pretty good, and the worst bit is that no one else is. I'm having to do all this myself, and I'm not really doing it very well. I'm not firing any gold whatsoever, so I'm kind of just playing it by ear here with AP, just hoping it'll pen. And most of the time, well, some of the times it does, and that's good enough to keep the IS-6 away from a position where it can threaten me and the Hellcat. Actually, at this point, the IS-6 is advancing, which is reducing me and the Hellcat's cover, so this was actually quite troublesome for a second here. I don't think I recall the IS-6 getting any clean shots on me. I think he was just going for the Hellcat at this point, or the tanks behind me, which is kind of not that great, because I was the only one seriously threatening the IS-6, as far as I'm aware. So the FV207 gets the Hellcat, which I can't do anything about that. But at least he got the Hellcat and not me, because the Hellcat, even though the Hellcat was penning a couple of tanks and doing pretty good, I was pretty much the primary reason that this flank was being held. That is what really got me off, the ELC popping above, and he dives back just before I was able to get a reload and get a shot off on him. So now I angle myself a little bit to try and take his shots better. He misses that shot, but I think he lands the next one, which is really frustrating. So I actually nailed the IS-6 close to, like, pretty much one shot away from dying, and I don't manage to kill him. Someone else does. I forget who it was, but I still do have to worry about the IS-6 and the ELC, and I see him pop his head up a little bit above there, and yeah, he gets a shot before I'm able to angle myself well enough. And there we go. The Lorraine artillery manages to clip the IS-6 for the last bit of his health and kill him, which is perfect because now all I have to worry about are the tanks back there, which are nothing, and the ELC. But the FV-207 actually nails me that time for 600 damage, takes away pretty much all of my secure damage to take any more shots. So okay, here we go. The ELC decides to dive in on me and try and get the finishing kill shots. My turret traverse is broken. I didn't realize that until now. And he tries to get a shot off on me. I use forward, and then I push him back. I play with him a little bit. I'm trying to just get him away from shooting at me so I can get my turret on him. But nope, the FE decides to finish me off. Danger close for the ELC. But when that happened, I was just absolutely crushed because I was having so much fun with that ELC, and I'd held that flank pretty well, and I'd helped out the Hellcat. But yeah, it's just one of those games where you feel like you're doing so good, so obviously the rest of the team has to be doing good enough in order to at least hold the win. But our WZ-111 dies. All we have left is a T-32 and Artie. So yeah, it's quite clear that this one's not going to be pulled through. And it's a real shame for me because I did so well.